You are listening to a Reverie original podcast. Please download the Reverie app to get the best in queer film, TV series, music, and podcasts. Stream out loud.
Bienvenido. No, wait. I was going to do the French accent with Spanish. Wow. Okay. So anyway.
Yikes.
It's bienvenue. Bienvenue. No, I don't know if it's I don't know. I'll just go with it. Bienvenue à Podcast de quelle heure? Quelle heure? Where four trash bags of color come together to make some sense of this wild, wild world that we are living in today. Z-World.
To make sense of Z-World.
Z-World. I have to put my hand on my hip when I do that. Z-World. So the question of the quelle heure?
Wait, hi. Who are you?
Roll call.
Oh, who am I? I'm Baze. The Hee-Haw Hunty as always. Who are you?
I'm Rakeem, and I just finished installing my show.
I'm John, and I am attending your show.
Ooh. I'm Baze, and I'm not going to be able to attend, unfortunately.
But I sent you pictures.
Yes. Wait, let me look. Oh, bitch.
Did they come through?
Oh, bitch.
Come through.
Oh, bitch. Yeah. Oh,
Come
bitch.
through.
Yes. Oh, damn. How long did this take?
So literally I'm recording in the office across from literally in the next room over from the gallery. I have been here. It is Monday at 5:40 p.m. I have been sleeping here since Saturday.
Yeah,
Oh,
I was going to
okay.
say, I think you've been camping out there.
I
for
have
a
been
few
sleeping
nights,
on my a comforter and a pillow without a bed sheet
Oh
for
my God,
2 days.
Ricky.
Saturday after work, I had to clear out the work that was here and then prep the wall and then spackle the wall and then paint over it, and then the next morning I got really high and twerked and paint the wall some more and
Oh,
So
yeah. I saw
you're-
that on Twitter.
yes.
Do your colleagues know that
That I'm here?
you don't? Yeah.
Yeah, I let them all know. I said I'm gonna be
Oh.
here these other times, these other dates. They know I'm recording this here too. I let everyone know everything, so there's no surprises. No one's about to walk in on me
Okay.
naked. So
Ooh.
I mean, it's part of the show.
is it?
No, I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Oh, so what you're saying is the black body is entertainment for consumption.
Oh.
What I'm saying is...
Oh, she said what I had said
What I had said was...
That is part of the show.
What I said was... The
She
question
forgot.
of color...
She said, what I had said was,
what's the question of color, Base?
what I had said was, what's the question of color? That's what I said.
That's what I said.
Okay, so the
man.
question of color, I literally just came up with this 5 seconds ago. Okay, so in the theme of Fashion Week, even though Fashion Week is over in New York, it's now London Fashion Week. In the theme of London Fashion Week, for our London listeners out there, what was a time... God, why do I always stumble over wording my questions once I actually have to say them on the show? The basic question is, have you ever had a fashion disaster? You were in the house, you had planned this outfit out in your head, and you were like, this is it. This is the look. And then you walked outside and you could no longer, you were past the point of being able to return home to change. And you were like, wow, bitch, I look a damn fool. I fooled myself. Has that ever happened to either of you two?
Do you want me
Are
to
you
go
picturing
first?
it? Are you thinking about it?
No, I
Yeah.
know what it is. It was a damn disaster.
Okay, well, listen, sis, you ready, so get going.
Oh, God. Okay, so this was in 9th grade when I was in high school.
She taking us back.
Huh?
I said, ooh, she taking us back.
Oh, yeah. I was 14, 15. And I remember this was in January or so because it was right after Christmas break, and they had, and JCPenney had this sale. It was the best sale of my life.
Okay.
And it fucked up how I thought clothes and shoes were priced for the rest of my life, because I was grabbing collar shirts off the rack for $2-3, just scoop them up.
Bitch.
My mom was like, bitch, if it's under $10, I'll get it. So I was like, okay, bitch, I'm about to be fly as fuck. This is the kind of shit that old white Republicans wear when you go to golf.
Oh
I was ready. I was dressed like I was the assistant manager at Steinmart. It was perfect.
What is that? What is Steinmart?
Steinmart is like a white women's store that's in the Valley. It's like it's like high end, and I say that in air quotes. Like Ross.
Yeah.
Is it like something like Nancy Reagan would wear? Like she would shop there if she
It's
was
like
in the,
too
the
cheap
business
for
life?
her. More like the Real Housewives.
Or like Martha Stewart-ish ladies. Like
but like
the
fraudulent
ones that wear
ones.
the popped collars and they have like shoulder length feathered hair.
Yes, but they're
like
like
layers.
trifling and like can't really afford. It's like, you know, if you're on like Love and Hip Hop and you're trying to act like you have money, but you know, that kind of thing.
like when Oprah's list of favorite things comes out, it's not the actual favorite things, it's like the bootleg version of those things.
Exactly.
Like they wear like the really puffy sleeves, like it's like an asymmetrical shoulder, and like they have a really puffy like cocktail dress, but it's only puffy on one shoulder and then the other shoulder's out.
Bitch, you need to start sketching. You like period.
And it's like that cheap like reflective material.
Yes.
Okay, got you.
That's exactly what it is. It's kind of like bran
LeMay?
flake of Neiman Marcus, but make it bran flakes.
And they have like choppy highlights. Yes.
Yes.
I'm seeing it.
It's like the Up and Up.
Anyways, so the outfit was the outfit that I was wearing was this orange. It was 3 different types of oranges in in horizontal stripes. And the buttons were 3 different color oranges.
Well, horizontal stripes are in now, sis. So you should have just waited a couple summers.
Oh no, but it was like ugly oranges, and it was like all vertical or horizontal striped.
Oh, horizontal. No, vertical's in now.
Horizontal.
Is it vertical? No. It's horizontal.
Horizontal.
I don't know, girl. I always mix up which is which. Anyway, continue.
We're in the upside down. And so I did that, and I also was like, this is like my into anime phase. So I got 2 white socks that were really long, and I cut the ends off, and I put them on my sleeves, like on my arms. So like the socks like covered my arms. And then I put that like under the sleeve of the orange shirt. I then got FUBU like bright blue denim shorts that were like 3 sizes too big, and then put those on. And then I got on. I heard bass saying, Then I got white socks that were going up to like my thigh, and then under the white socks, the shoes that I had on were camouflage green sneakers. And bitch, I thought you couldn't tell me shit. I was like, I'm about
Not green. Wait, did you say green socks?
No,
green
white
shoes.
Socks, green shoes.
Ooh, even worse.
Damn.
Worse.
I thought that I was in Final Fantasy. I really thought that I was like Cloud Strife. I thought that I was about to fight Sephiroth. And
Rakeem, what had inspired this look?
Honestly, it was because Final Fantasy X-2 I was playing, and it was very like that inspired. It was very like queer. I'm gonna sing a song. I'm gonna be like, you know, I'm gonna cast a spell on you by being a pop star and singing. And a little bit of Puff Daddy. So
interesting.
Yeah. So
interesting.
You know,
I just saw a young log cabin Republican.
Excuse me?
That's what I saw in my head, but I don't know.
Did you say log cabin Republican?
Yes, that's what the gays are called, girl. Mm-hmm. That's their house, the house of log cabin.
Ew, that's their house. Oh. From the house of log cabin is horizontal.
Wait, so is log cabin like? Is that the term for a gay who's a Republican?
That's the gay Republic. That's the gay Republicans. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, I thought
category is oppression.
Oh, I thought that's what you were saying. I thought that was like a name for like black house slaves or something that were gay or Republican or something. No,
oh God, were you? Jesus.
I don't know.
Fix it.
Is that not something you would say?
It is something I would say. It's very on brand for me, so I can't even argue with you. Wow. Anyway. I'm sorry. This light skinned boy just put a video of himself on Twitter kissing, and somebody said my butthole after using Azealia Banks' Bussy Boy.
Oh, okay. So God. John, what was yours? Nope.
Yes, Jean.
Let's see. So in high school, my parents didn't really like I didn't have a lot of selection of clothes in my closet, so sometimes I would wear my parents' stuff and like pass it off as like vintage or something. And let's see, when I was in 9th grade, my dad was working for the post office, so I was like, cool, I'm gonna wear his like post office stuff to work. And so I would wear like a polo that had like the eagle emblem on it, and it said like Postal Service on it. And this was back in the time when like the band The Postal Service was cool, so I thought it was like relatable, but it was not, because I wore it to school and everyone was like, why does it look like you're gonna go deliver mail? And I was like, oh, because I'm wearing my dad's shirt. And they're like, does your dad work for the post office? And like I went to school with a bunch of like rich white kids, and so they're like, oh, your dad works for the post office? Like there was that tone with it, so that like not only did it not fit me because it was too big, it was like also like made me look like lower class, I suppose, because they're like, oh, your dad delivers mail. And I thought I looked cool, and I didn't know that that job wasn't respectable to some people. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was like a double blow. I was like, man, I look stupid, and man, like, and I look poor. Like, wait, I was so upset.
That's not funny,
like,
but it is.
I mean, you know, I didn't know. I was like, oh, I guess
stupid and poor.
Someone once told me those are the two worst things you could be.
I was like, oh, dang. I mean, he like gets to drive this cool truck around. I don't know. Like, I thought that was cool. But, you know, high school, kids are mean.
Yeah.
Damn. Baze, I feel like we've been leading up to yours because I need to know.
No, y'all ain't been leading up to mine. I actually don't have many fashion.
Oh, okay. Okay, bitch.
What?
He's like,
Listen, I thought I've always maybe you guys might be able to relate to this question, so I thought I'd ask it. Personally, I cannot. So I'm sorry. Okay.
Oh, she's bald.
We can't all struggle. So one of us has to be the guiding light. Okay, sis. So anyway, no, I mean, okay. There's a couple. There's like 2 instances, but I don't think that what I was wearing was. I regretted wearing it. But like
how he played us, Rakeem. Like we just went really vulnerable.
Right.
We just got really vulnerable in the story.
Listen.
Not only
and that's
did he
great.
Call
that's
us
what
stupid,
this show is about.
He was poor too.
That's what this show is about.
Listen,
it's about
every outfit
vulnerabilities.
I've had has been it.
This
Sorry about you guys.
classism is jumping out.
It's about serving vulnerabilities, honey. And you guys have both done that. Hurrah for you guys. I'm going to clap for you guys because thank you. Thank you for sharing that with the class. Thank you for sharing your stories, okay? That must have been very difficult. We, the audience, really appreciate that. Thank you.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
As I was saying, no, there's like maybe 2 instances where I could say that I like regretted it. So like the other night, last week, you guys heard me thank someone for being invited to a fashion show, and so I avoided. I went to the fashion show. I had been thinking about like what I was gonna wear for the longest, and I finally came up with a cute outfit, but I had to borrow it from a friend because it was theirs, and they unfortunately could not.
Wait, you came up with an outfit that wasn't in your closet?
No. Okay. Here's the thing. I went to First of all, I went to a sample sale with some friends last summer. We all bought things at the sample sale, but this one friend bought these pants because neither one of us thought. There was 3 of us. 2 of us didn't think that we would wear it enough to justify us buying it, and lo and behold, I haven't really had a place that I would wear it to since she bought those pants. But oddly enough, these pants were like they were floor length. They were black. They almost look like a skirt. If you don't look too closely, it looks like a skirt. It looks like a long, like elegant skirt. It looks like something Oprah would wear with like a button-up shirt on top. You know what I mean? You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? You know how Oprah be wearing those like? You know how Oprah be getting those like button-up shirts, and then she get like a real elegant skirt. You know what I'm talking about. You know, y'all seen it. She done probably worn it on the O magazine before.
I'm dead. I know the exact type of thing you're talking about.
So yeah, so I didn't need it. So I was like, okay, girl, you should buy it because it looks good on all 3 of us. Oddly enough, we're all different heights, but it looks good on all 3 of us. So she ended up buying it, and she was like, if you ever need to borrow it, like, you know, I'll let you borrow it. And so my dumb ass, I've been waiting for a moment to borrow it. Like, I've been waiting for something to go to that I would need this for. And I didn't think about it until the night of the show. And she works late, so she couldn't go home and let me into the apartment to borrow it. So I like just came up with something real quick at home. And it was like this, like, it was actually the outfit that I had bought at the same sample sale. So it was like these loose fitting, like really like baggy pants. They're women's pants. They're meant to be high waisted, but like all of my belts like are just like tacky and like they're like for day wear. They're not for like if I'm gonna wear it with like a nice pair of pants, you know. So it didn't work out for that. So I had to kind of wear them like low. So they were like hanging low on my waist, and I was wearing like a women's white mesh shirt. And like, I think the outfit wasn't horrible. I just wish I had worn something different. So that, I don't know if that really counts. And then the other time was I went to school and I had worn like this sweatsuit. Like I had the sweatpants with the matching sweatshirt. And this was before it was actually popular. But I thought I was like innovating, right? So I come to school and I'm rocking it and I'm like feeling myself or whatever. But what I didn't notice when I was at home that it was covered in lint. So I got made fun of for having clothes that had lint on them. So
wait, by who?
I don't know. A lot of people at school.
Oh.
Yeah, I was in like 11th grade. But those are pretty much my only things that I can really think of like where I regret like wearing something. Like when I wear something, like I own it. Like even if I think it's ugly, I'm like, bitch, I'm gonna rock it and it's gonna look good on me. So
good for you.
It's not that. It's how you wear it. It's not what. Well, sometimes it is what you wear, but most times it's how you wear it. You know? Yeah,
Rihanna be wearing some ugly ass shit that nobody else could wear, but on her, everyone's like, "Oh my god, it's Rihanna! It looks good." You know.
Sometimes Rihanna do have on some. On it, okay.
Oftentimes Rihanna has on ugly shit, but she pulls it off because she has an attitude.
Okay, can I make it a confession? And I feel like you guys are gonna. I feel like Beige, you're gonna yell at me for this, but
I'm not gonna yell at you for nothing. Go ahead.
Is the Navy gonna come for you? Or?
No, it has nothing to do with Rihanna. It's a fashion thing that I think is ugly, but everyone does this.
What's the tea?
I think those little sunglasses that are like tiny.
Oh,
like
I wear
rectangles,
them. So I wear them. So I can't.
Like those are the ugliest things to me, and they never look good on anyone. Beyonce's wearing them on tour, and I'm like, sis, why? Like they are so fucking ugly, and everyone wears them with like a fucking race car outfit and Nikes, and I'm just like,
wow, that's literally what I wore mine with when I was in LA.
I can.
She's literally
wait,
dragging me for the night that we. That's what I wore when we went to that fucking party and we saw those.
I'm dead. Wow,
that's literally what I wore to that party that you came to.
Yikes.
So I know you saw me in.
I didn't realize that's what you were.
That
wearing.
whole time, that's who he talked about. He talked about me.
Oh, no, I really didn't mean you. I'm literally
like, bitch, I was literally wearing biker pants and like the skinny sunglasses.
No, bitch, I didn't mean you.
Look, bitch, say my name. Just at me. At me next time. Bitch.
No.
Just say my name. All these subtweets, bitch.
That's not what I meant.
Well,
hi,
bitch,
John.
I ain't Jarrett.
Hi, hello.
How are you? Oh, you know what's so great? Renee's going to join us in the Minutes of Color. That's what's amazing.
Oh, okay. Anyway, we've been doing this for 18 minutes, so I think I told that story. That was way too long just to tell y'all nothing. Basically, the point of the story is I always look great. So anyway, I guess that's going to be it for the question of color, the intro.
Wait,
what?
Those are just random.
Yeah, I know. I just like to be throwing them in. You never know. Maybe I'm doing a French accent. Maybe I'm slobbing on a dick. You never know. Anyway.
Wait, what?
We'll see y'all in the Minutes of Color.
All right. Hey, guys. Hi. How you doing? We're back. With the Minutes of Color. Yeah, that's right. We're here. So anyway, what's going on in the world? I mean, there's just so much going on in the world. I mean, does anybody care about MGK and Eminem's white boy rap battle?
No.
Who is MGK?
Machine Gun Kelly and Eminem are having some type of like white off. I don't know. Something's going on there.
A white off?
A white off. A Caucasian off.
They're trying to. What are they mad about?
MGK said that
Mom's
his daughter
spaghetti.
was Eminem's daughter was hot years ago, I guess, and I guess that was enough to have Eminem mad enough years later to talk about this on his new album. He took shots at a lot of rappers, which I'm honestly just most offended that he decided to come for fucking Vince Staples. I was like, how dare you, first of all? I don't care about none of these other niggas. Bitch. I don't care about Tyler, the Creator. I don't care about Earl Sweatshirt. I don't care about Machine Gun Kelly, Lord Lamar, Jamar, whoever that is, Joe Button, Lil Xan, Lil Pump. I don't care about none of these people, but I do care about Vince Staples, because Vince Staples is a treasure. He is one of the few black men in hip hop that is not at least openly homophobic, which is a very low standard. I mean, the standard is really in Earth's core, but we still appreciate him. No, nobody has any thoughts. Nobody cares.
I mean, Mariah was really right when, with how she's guessing with Eminem and how he's gonna look. Like, someone on Twitter said earlier this morning, like, it takes a special talent to grow a beard as a man and get uglier. And I was like, wow, you're right.
That is so true.
Like,
you know what? It's because he's gotten so much work done on his face, and it's very obvious.
Like, for what though?
Wait, speaking of Mariah, how do we feel about GTFO?
I didn't see it.
I haven't heard it yet.
What?
No.
And she like threw herself a party, and then did you see the cupcakes that someone made for her? It was like pictures of her face that said GTFO on the cupcakes.
Mm-mm.
I don't know.
I'm scared.
I see a lot of good memes coming out of the song.
Is the song good? Did you enjoy it?
Me personally, no.
Yeah.
It just sounds like she's having a hard time
adjusting,
breathing.
Oh,
is that pointed? Is that song like pointed to anybody? Is she still with her man?
I don't know. But
is she with the man now?
She's been with the dancer for like a minute, for like a year or two.
Oh, he's fine too.
Oh, I just never buy these relationships with these dancers. Like, I didn't believe it when Jennifer Lopez was with one. I just don't buy it.
But aren't they still together? That Jennifer Lopez and the dancer?
No.
This is a different one. Being gay, Casper something.
Wait.
Oh, it's a different dancer.
You're talking about Chris. That was like 15 years ago. But yeah, no, they're not together.
Who's Britney Spears' bottom boyfriend?
Oh yeah, I don't buy that one either. He looks like he goes to circuit parties every weekend.
He's like
not bottom boyfriend, bitch.
Her boyfriend is a bottom. It's fine. It is.
Well, Britney wants to top. Let her top.
Yes.
I didn't say
we're not shaming women for topping. Women can be anything they want to be in 2018.
Sweetie, where did I say they couldn't? I just said, who is her bottom boyfriend? I didn't say. That's all I said.
The tone was very pointed.
Yes, it said everything.
You know what Paramore said in their amazing album, Brand New Eyes? The next time you point a finger, how about you point it to the mirror? How about that?
Okay.
What?
Ooh, okay. She stumbled there, but she got it out.
You said that my tone was very pointed, so I said, if you're going to point at me, point to the mirror, like Paramore said.
How about you, in the words of Mariah Carey, GTFO? I'm just kidding.
Okay, so if I do that right now, what happens?
We'll keep recording.
Power play. Ooh, John played his hand.
Period.
Rakeem was like, so let's see. We have one or two outcomes that can happen. How do you think this is going to go? Enlighten me.
Oh, I love you all so much. Okay, sorry. Keep going.
Have you guys heard LMK? Let me know. Kalela's song. But they did the remix featuring Princess Nokia, Cupcake, Jungle Pussy, and Miss Boogie.
Yeah.
It's good. I like it. What do you guys think?
Can people make titles with like words, please? I
like LMK.
Here's the thing about
LMK. The point of LMK
is to.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I don't want to get dragged. Go ahead.
Oh, well, the point of
give us some musical
is
knowledge.
Like, it's very much like text speak, and she's like telling a guy. She's like telling a guy that she met that night. She's like, we can hang out tonight. It's not that deep. LMK, like, let me know. Like, that's why.
I know.
Oh, go ahead.
No, no, I know. It's like when in the 90s when everyone realizes you can put the number, I almost said the number 2 instead of like the word 2, so like cater to you and like
I like cater to you.
No, I'm just saying like in the song titles when people would do that or they would spell love like LUV, like all the black artists started doing that. It just reminds me of that, but I don't know where my trend is. I'm very high. Let me stop. Okay.
Ooh, I'm seeing. Have you guys heard of Amarasu?
Yes.
No.
Oh.
Amorosa?
She has this. No.
John.
Let's not. So this is a black trans woman.
The one black woman John wants to support.
No, that's
right?
not
I
it.
know, right? It doesn't.
Oh my god.
Huh.
Okay. Here we go.
What is her fan base called, John?
Log cabin?
The log cabins. Oh, you're dumb.
Oh,
she has
man.
a new song. I wanted to shout her out. I haven't heard it actually, but I just wanted to shout her out because I'm sure it's good. It's Need You, Need Me.
Okay.
Have you heard it, Renee?
Yeah, she's really good. She's from, or she was living in the Bay Area for a while. And she's been putting out music for a minute. She was actually in that documentary series that Ellen Page was doing.
Shoot.
Gaycation?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. But she's been, she's really amazing. She's been bringing to light like really important issues. So like, and she makes some amazing music. So yeah, definitely, I stand.
Yeah, let's check her out, you all. Yes. So, I mean, this is not good news.
Oh no,
that it happened, but it's good news the result that it could have. Y'all know that Brett Kavanaugh is trying to become a member of the Supreme Court. He's having his hearings these days. That was really wow. Okay. Anyway, we're gonna pretend that I didn't say it like that. He was accused of assaulting one of his classmates, sexually assaulting his classmate back in the early 80s when he was in high school. Initially, she came out anonymously, but she's now put a name behind the allegations, and her name is Dr. Christine Blasey Ford. She's described the actions that took place at a pool party 3 decades ago. The guy that was allegedly like did it as well. Like apparently him and another guy who were super drunk. They corralled her into a room. She said that she was only able to escape the situation because like unharmed because they were both extremely drunk. So they weren't able to like do what they had intended to do to her. The guy whose name is, what is his fucking name? Jesus Christ. But anyway, this guy was out here like, sorry, I had it up and it disappeared. But I remember what happened. So this guy, whose name I'm going to find right now, was out here, okay.
I like this game of telephone.
Yes, he was out here casting doubt on rape allegations just over the years. Like he's been doing this. He's been a rape apologist. He's extremely racist. And so it's not really looking good for Brett Kavanaugh. The fact that the guy that he's accused of doing this with is also someone who is just a known rape apologist. And now a lot of Republicans and Democrats are calling for a postponement of the hearings. What do y'all think of that?
They're all trash. Like, no, like for real. Like they're truly trashed. It's. I mean, the whole situation is fucked. He shouldn't be getting nominated in the first place. It shouldn't be happening. I'm actually kind of shocked that like that hearings are already happening. I thought that he just got the name. I don't know. That's crazy to me. But also, I haven't really been watching the news for the most part too, honestly, because it's I'm kind of on like a mental health break. And it's just done wonders. But they can all choke, and I want to see Kamala Harris grill the shit. Didn't she do something with him too, where like she said, like she like questioned him on something, and like he said that he couldn't. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I forgot what the details were on that, but I saw her response to him, and it was really good. I just forgot what it was.
Also, y'all, I'm back, and I have a name. His name is Mark Judge. So look that nigga up. If you want to subject yourself to that, then you can. He says a lot of horrible things, like how like there's a neighborhood in Washington that's historically black, and he compares it to Harlem, but says that the race riots in 1968 after the assassination of Martin Luther King were caused not by it was not actually about Martin Luther King's death. It was actually just an excuse for pro-black, which is in his mind a bad thing. Pro-black people with broken homes, just trying to destroy the city. And I guess there's no real need to like disparage this guy, other than the fact that it just doesn't reflect well that you've been accused of attempting to assault somebody. I'd rather like say assault than the other word, but attempting to assault somebody, and you've been out here like justifying that sexual assault. He's blamed clothes on like the way that women are dressed. He's made a lot of statements about like, oh, sexual assault of course is not a good thing. It's not something you should do, but there's a lot of but statements that he's made, that he's published. And so I don't think it looks good for Brett Kavanaugh, and I really do hope that it should be enough to cancel this whole situation out. Like, he really should not be sitting on the Supreme Court. I mean, this is one of the this is a bad reason too, but like this is one of the least harmful things to the like overall country, but it doesn't bode well. Like, it doesn't bode well for the kind of Supreme Court judge that he would be if he was allowed to move forward with that. Yes. So anyway,
and those are for life too. So just remember that.
Exactly.
Like, that's what's fucking scary. Like, when you really think about it, like, the stuff that they can do won't be undone until after we die. Like, that's scary to me. But I don't know. That's why you kind of have to take a break from it every now and then. But yeah.
Fox News
trash
came out. Yes, always and forever. Came out to report on the weed that was allegedly found in Botham Jean's apartment. Botham Jean, if you guys do not remember, we talked about it last week.
Yes.
He was at home when a white female police officer burst into his home and shot him to death. Of course, now a judge has allowed that what was found because of that warrant, a warrant to search his home, allowed that to be made public. So, obviously there's no real wonder why they're making these things public. It's obvious that they're trying to make sure that he is painted as a criminal and that she's painted as some innocent white woman who just happened to break into this man's home and kill him. And we're supposed to just eat it up.
Because he has weed.
Because he had weed. He deserved to die because he had weed.
That's crazy.
We should do a discourse on that one day, actually. Kind of just about just how white people... It's just crazy to me because it's like people are like, weed is the excuse. Like, I can't even tell you guys how many like white people go to these dispensaries and like they'll do. This is what will happen if you go to if you go to a certain like a white dispensary, they'll go in there and then they'll sit there, take their money out, and then leave the receipt so that the next person can just see how much money they have, just to like flaunt. Like, and it's like, but it's those kind of people, and they're getting all of this shit, and it's fine, and people just laugh at it. But then you have stuff like this, where black people have something, and then it's like they're fucking criminals, like it's the worst thing on earth. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Moving forward, Drake might be in hot water, at least with the public, because he reportedly shut down a restaurant in DC to have dinner with an 18-year-old model named Bella Harris. This didn't sit right with a lot of people because Bella just turned 18 in April, and there's pictures of her with Drake going back to 2016.
Ooh, yikes.
But here's the thing. It's circumstantial, but like there's even like there's a screenshot of him like leaving heart eye emojis under her pictures from before.
Yikes.
There's like pictures of him like hugged up on her. Like, we can't say for sure that this happened, but this girl did just graduate high school in June. So,
Oh my god.
yeah, it looks a little suspect. And honestly, I feel if this is true, like if he did, I mean, they both have come out to deny that it actually happened. That he shut down a restaurant for her. They're both saying that they did not have dinner together. But a lot of people are doing, the internet sleuths are constantly at work, the detectives. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, if it's true, I feel the same way about this that I feel about like Black China dating a lot of these young guys.
Right.
I think it's creepy because I think at the age of 30, I think he's 31. At the age of 31, like I just don't see any reason for you to be dating an 18-year-old.
Like, that's a child.
And yes, there's like obviously like people always want to come more. Well, my parents are 10 years and 12 years apart, and they're married, and it's just like, okay, and it's still sick.
It's
still
like
gross.
it's creepy when you say it that way too. But
I know,
like,
it's like it doesn't make it better.
I'm about to drag my family too, but my dad was 24 years older than my mom, and I was like, and like it's always been this cute thing, but I've always been like, and they've met each other like way later in life, so that's like way different. But I've always just been like, if you guys met around my age, that would mean that you would be leaving like grad school or something like that when my mom was born. That's crazy to me.
Oh, shit.
Like, that's insane. When I was 22, I went on a date with a 19-year-old, and I remember I only lasted 10 minutes because that nigga was like, I just went to prom a few weeks ago, and I was like, I gotta go. Like, like, no, where's the bus stop?
I just, if you spend any time around I've been like around like people, and I'm like, and I find out they're 21, and that's still, even for me, it's just like sometimes it's just like, like, okay. Like, and it's not to say that I think that I don't ever think that a 21-year-old is attractive. It's not to say that you can't find people attractive. Like, you find people attractive, like, is what it is. But, like, just, I don't think you should necessarily act on it if you find someone, just because you find somebody attractive. And I do think that there are instances where people can find love despite their age differences. But I just don't think that should ever be a rule of thumb. And I definitely think that everyone should be wary of someone who makes a habit of dating people that much younger than they are.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of the times it's about control.
Right.
And you see the way that Kanye has spoken about Tyga and Kylie. You see the way that Tyga spoke about his relationship with Kylie. Like, they talk about like training her when she was young, and it just sounds weird and creepy, and it's very predatory. Yeah, I don't know, because I on one hand I feel like there are some relationships that happen, and then and I don't necessarily think that it always is an evil thing. But I think in situations like this where you've known somebody since they were underage, and you know what I mean? And then you decide to pursue that relationship when they're of age, it's like you've been waiting for them to become old enough for you to...
That's predatory, like, literally.
And that is different, So, I don't know.
It's actually like a misdemeanor, I think, if you're past 3 years of, like, say someone's under 18, and you're 3 years past that. So basically, if you're over 20, it's a misdemeanor.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason why I know this is because, on a related note, I don't know if you guys saw, but Paul Walker's documentary that was like, maybe it came out like a month or two ago.
I didn't, but I read about him.
Yeah, he was actually also like allegedly dating underage girls, and his current wife was like, when people were like doing the math, like he was talking to her when she was like 16 or something. And so, and the documentary, people were questioning, like, how come it never interviews like his quote unquote best friend Vin Diesel, who's been around for a while, and like the women who he was publicly dating, but like at the time were underage, and they never like explore that. But then all these articles were coming out about him dating some woman named, let me look for it. Her last name is Pitchard, I think. And she was 16 when they started dating. So It's weird.
It's definitely
It's
weird,
always just
but-
eyebrow raising at least. Like, just, yeah.
And like, I think that, I don't know. Not to say, like, I don't know. I feel like there are situations where people can meet and fall in love, right? And I think if he had just met her when she was now, I guess, and then fell in love with her, I don't know. Like, I think it's still weird. I would definitely side-eye the fuck out of it. But I think it does happen. I think the fact that, like, he's known her since she was underage is where I get, like, okay, this is definitely, like, this goes past, like, where I'm like, oh, this is okay. But we also don't know that they're dating. It could just be him being inappropriately flirtatious with her online.
Like,
which is also creepy, but, you know.
Like, we understand shit happens, but I just feel like if there's a pattern, then that's when people should be concerned. You can always meet someone and whatever, but if it's like a constant pattern, then what?
I'm just
And
like,
I haven't seen that pattern, so I don't know.
I'm just like, of all the people that are like dancing in your videos or the people that you hang out with, of everybody, you're gonna date an 18-year-old or like allegedly younger. You know what I mean? Like, you're traveling the world, you have access to all these things, you have these private parties, you know other celebrities, you know all these other people, but like you chose to go on a date with someone that's like really young and just got out of high school. Like, what are you guys gonna talk about? Just the two of you at dinner.
Well, if like, let's say this is actually going on, because we don't know, this is alleged. We
don't know.
If it's actually going on, like, I remember being at certain bars and like looking a lot younger. I tend to, you know, I kind of look a lot younger than I actually am.
You do.
I was in some bars.
No shade.
In some bars when I was like maybe like 24, and I guess I looked like I was like 20, 19, and like when I said my actual age to like certain people that were hitting on me, they seemed disappointed, and even like
and
even like angry.
Yikes.
And I think, you know, there's
Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's fine. There's a specific person, like type of person that I feel like intentionally goes for somebody that is a lot younger, that has like not fully developed maybe like their sense of power or self or what have you, because they want to be able to like influence or control them to an extent. So it's like, I think definitely when things like this happen, like the idea of like power and what kind of power you have over somebody that you're dating comes up, and maybe they have nothing in common, maybe they have nothing to talk about, but maybe that's a good thing for their older person, because they're like, I can control your thoughts, ideas, whatever.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
So
yeah, I mean, I've definitely have a lot of girlfriends that like look young. I mean, even I have a friend who was just on her Instagram story was talking about how like she was hanging out in front of, she was like standing in front of Starbucks, and this old white guy comes up to her and is like, oh, how old are you, 16? And she was like, I'm 25. And she's not even 25, but she was just like, I'm 25. She's 21. And she was like, I'm 25. And he was like, oh, and walked away.
Ew.
Wow. He wanted her to be underage. Because she looks really young. She's very thin. She has like a very youthful face, so she looks underage. And he was disappointed that she wasn't.
Oh no.
Yeah, and I have like so many female friends who've told me stories about guys being who were underage at the time and lied about being older, saying they were older, and having guys being disappointed that they were older than they thought they were.
Oh wow.
Just to get guys to leave them alone. Yeah.
That's so weird. When I was younger, I always lied to be older just so people could think I was older. Like, you know, like when I was 18, I said I was 21 to get into 21 over places. Because people don't want to talk to you if you're younger. But I guess that's the opposite with straight guys for the most part.
No, gay guy. A lot of gay guys
men too.
are very much.
Some gay men.
There's
too.
so many gay. I've come across so many profiles actually when I was still on the apps. I came across a lot of profiles of guys who were in their 30s and 40s talking about, I don't want to talk to anybody over the age of 25.
Yeah.
Over the age of 25?
Over the age of 25, and they're in their 30s and they're in their 40s.
Yeah.
Like there's guys in their there's whole men on apps in their 50s talking about they don't want to date any older than 29. Like, bitch, you're in your fucking 50s.
That's a lot. Yeah, one of the guys that I was talking to, or whatever, when I was like when I was like 24
or whatever,
Yeah, he was like, when I first met him, he's like, he was like flirting and he was kind of like happy about it, or like kind of like weird. He's like, "You're not even old enough to be in here, are you?" And I was just like, I know, I'm definitely.
Ew.
But it was very obvious that like he was into the idea that I was a lot younger. And then later,
And
when I told him,
on by the fact that he noticed that you were younger.
yeah, and then later when I told him his age and my actual age, and he like got over it, he's like, "Well, at least you look younger, and that's what matters." I'm like, "Okay, this is weird."
Wow.
Okay. All right.
Yikes.
Yeah. So I mean, it's complicated. It's not cut and dry. But one thing that is really creepy, if this is in fact the truth, it is creepy that he's been like commenting on her shit and has like known her since she was a kid, which was literally a few months ago. But and honestly, kind of technically now she is. I mean, 18 is really like you meet 18-year-olds and they look young and they act young, especially when you talk to them. Like they're still young.
Yeah, I mean, you notice it like immediately, and it's not always a bad thing. It's just just certain things. They're not. You're at different places.
Yeah. I mean, at 21, I was like, I would interact with 18-year-olds, and we were just in completely different places in our lives.
Yeah.
Like, and those first 3 years of adulthood, like, so much changes for you, I think.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know. I guess maybe it never stops changing, but I feel like I even now feel like so at 27, I feel like completely different person than I was at 23. You know what I mean? And when I was 23, I felt there was even, I felt like there was a big gap between me and like a 20-year-old. And at 20, I felt like there was a huge gap between me and an 18-year-old. Like, I just think that age, so many things are happening and you're like adjusting to this whole new part of life because you're now like entering adulthood. And I think it's weird that there's people that just kind of waiting for you to enter so that they can fuck you. So, yeah. Anyway, let's hope that it's not true.
Yeah.
Let's hope that that's not what's going on here.
Yeah.
But if it is, that's gross. Yes. So there is a lot of controversy over this Harriet Tubman movie that's supposed to be coming out.
Is Scarlett Johansson playing?
Is starring Scarlett Johansson.
No.
Yes, it is. It is. She said, I can do anything that anyone else can do, and it's actually anti-woman for you not to let me play this role.
You know that song,
Okay.
Anything You Can Do, I Can Do Better? That was actually written by Scarlett Johansson.
Was it written by Scarlett Johansson?
She
Wow.
wrote that.
So I hear that she borrowed makeup from Zoe Saldana for her role as Nina Simone.
Oh no!
No, okay, but this actually is so. The controversy around this is actually a little similar. Cynthia Erivo is playing Harriet, and I don't know if you guys are familiar with Cynthia Erivo. She played Celie on the Broadway in The Color Purple. She's also going to be in the movie with Viola Davis, Widows.
Oh yeah!
Oh yeah!
I want to see
which
that.
I can't wait to see. The controversy is that the backlash, I guess, to her being cast as Harriet Tubman is that she's British, and a lot of Black American people feel that a Black British person should not be playing a historical figure who's American, a Black American.
How do you feel?
How do I feel? I don't care. I mean, maybe it's because I'm half Nigerian.
No.
So maybe like I'm like I don't know if that's why I don't care. But
Well,
go ahead.
Well, as a full 100% Black American nigga, I don't care either. I guess I get it. I don't know. I'm sorry. Keep going. I just wanted to be sure that I just felt like you would kind of feel the same way.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of there's like this conversation around like her heritage versus our heritage as Black Americans, and I guess I just feel like, I guess if she's African, I mean, I guess here's the thing. I definitely feel like there's anti-Blackness coming from a lot of Africans. I definitely feel like a lot of Black British people engage in anti-Blackness when it comes to Black Americans. I mean, I feel like everybody loves to like emulate Black Americans and shit on Black Americans at the end of the day. Like, that's really what it is. Everyone does it. Even Black Americans do it to other Black Americans. But I also feel like colonization happened everywhere. Like, white people did not leave any stone unturned. Unless there's a real Wakanda somewhere. Okay. Nothing has been untouched by white people. They've ruined everything.
You said that, and somewhere the real world Wakanda was like, y'all hear something?
You know, it's no black person is untouched by colonization. No black person is untouched, I think, by slavery, because I feel like,
No, I said fuck. That's a concept. Every black person
slavery.
alive has been affected by colonization. Fuck.
So I feel like it's kind of like, I don't know. I feel like it's kind of splitting hairs. Like, if you go, like, I don't know. I guess I just feel like she's a black woman. She definitely experiences anti-blackness. She definitely experiences misogynoir. Of course, when she comes here, of course, every country likes to treat other people's black people better than their own, right? So, like, maybe there is a conversation to be had around preferential treatment being given to black British people. But I don't know. I'm just not seeing enough black British people everywhere to really feel like that right now. You know what I mean? I still see plenty of movies. I mean, even like Black Panther, the star of it was a black American. You know what I mean? I mean, and maybe there's a separate discussion to be had about black women, which is maybe not my discussion to have. But just generally speaking, like, I think I don't know. I just don't think it's that big of an issue. There's been a lot of conversations around her own anti-blackness, and I haven't really seen anything that was like explicitly like anti-black. Like, I'm looking at a lot of people's receipts, and it doesn't look like, I don't know if I'm just missing it completely, but it doesn't seem like especially like anti-black American to me. So I don't know, but I just don't think it's. I don't think it's. I'm still gonna go see the movie. I'll pay to go see it.
When does it come out?
I haven't even seen a trailer for it.
Well, it's not that far along. I think they're still doing it. Damn, where's the Google page? Talk amongst yourselves.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Renee, hi. How are you? How are you doing? Do you want to answer our question of color while Base is getting that?
Oh yeah.
Oh, what's the question?
Okay. The question of color was: have you ever had, like, what was like your worst fashion fuck up?
Oh God.
Like, you thought the outfit was it, but like it wasn't it.
I feel like I don't know, like, every year I look at photos from like the past, like a year ago, and I'm just like, oh my God, what was I doing? Honestly. Oh, you know what? I think it was.
So your answer is all of them?
All of them, probably. All of them constantly throughout time.
That's like the spectrum of like the opposite end of Baze's answer.
But you dress well though.
I honestly don't really put effort into it anymore, just because I used to work at a vintage shop, and I used to basically get paid to shop all day, and then I would also get a lot of the pieces for free. So now it's just like that spoiled me. Like, now when I go shopping, I'm like, ew, I have to pay full price for this stuff, and I'm not getting paid. So I just really never even put effort into it anymore. But yeah, the things that like people like that I wear now are probably things that I owned when I was working at that vintage shop like 4 years ago. So,
dang.
Okay. Well, I researched a little bit. I did a little research, and I discovered that you're a whore, Ricky.
Wait, what?
I did a little research.
I did a little research.
Wait a minute.
It's from Flavor of Love.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was New York. You know what I was thinking of too? Like when the mom is like patting the folder.
Oh yeah,
of information.
yeah.
She's like
Right
hands
here.
it over while she's patting.
Sorry.
me handing over your docket.
I got real nervous for a second. I was like, how'd you know?
Apparently it's just, there's no specific date. It's just likely to be released in late 2019. So, I don't know.
I don't think they're going to change it.
Yeah, I mean, I think filming just began last year, and like all that whole process takes a while. So, yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I don't care. You, Ricky?
No,
You don't care? You
I'm
care?
indifferent too. I mean,
Okay.
I think the movie should be made, and fuck Donald Trump for not putting it around the 20.
Yes.
Period.
Agreed on all of that. Did y'all see Rihanna's fashion show?
Ugh. Amazing, iconic, talented, never been done before, super creative, never afraid to reference or not reference, put it in the blender, chop it up, screw it, throw it all together, throw it up, eat it, put it down, flip it and reverse it, you know. And never been done before. Truly.
The fact that she had like literally like this is a New York Fashion Week, like a Rihanna show, and she had all these women of different colors, different sizes, different styles. Like this literally just looked like a street in New York, honestly, to me. And I kind of like am standing Bella Hadid a little bit. Like she's actually a pretty good model. Like I don't know why I didn't think she was a good model.
You know who else thought she was an F model? Slick Woods' daughter or child, because Rihanna's like, not only do you have the baddest bitch in the show, her water breaks and she goes into labor and still walks the show. Like, what a bad bitch.
Wait,
like,
what?
Slick Woods went into labor during Rihanna's show.
And stayed?
I think it was right after she walked or something like that. And then she like wrote Rihanna this like open letter in Allure magazine just saying like, you know, that people never really paid attention to her, the person, and like who she is as a brand, until Rihanna actually like took her under her wing and believed in her. It's really beautiful what she wrote. Like they have a really good relationship.
Oh.
I know Rihanna was like wrote this message on Instagram and was like, Auntie Riri can't wait to see you. I was like, bitch, I want to see Auntie Riri, bitch, be my auntie.
Wait, wasn't she pregnant by like
Adonis Boso, who was okay. Do y'all remember the era on Tumblr when Adonis Boso was the black guy that everyone was attracted to?
Yeah.
Everyone who didn't like actually like black guys, had Adonis Boso on their Instagram page. He was their diversity quota. Oh my god, it was him or Broderick Hunter.
Oh my god, I'm getting 2013 Tumblr teas. Oh
bitch,
shit.
I'm taken back. I'm getting taken all the way back. It was always Adonis Boso with his like short haircut and his septum ring. And everybody was obsessed with him. I mean, I was obsessed with him too.
I mean, it just like sets you up for good things naming your child Adonis. Like,
true.
Wow.
Oh, or to be a white gay, but go off.
No, I'm just saying, like, of course, he's like this gorgeous guy. Of course, his name is Adonis.
Right.
Like, wow.
It would be really awkward though.
I saw him
like
at the fashion show that I was at.
If you named your kid Adonis and then like
and they were ugly.
That's so rude.
It's happened. I know it's happened.
Your child should be beautiful regardless.
That's true.
I saw him at the fashion show last week, and he was so beautiful. He was just gorgeous.
Going full of shit.
Man, I wanted to sit on his face.
Oh. Okay.
A seat.
His face is so bony. I feel like it would hurt though.
No, it's just, you know what? It's ribbed for your pleasure.
Oh, no. Not its phone. Those are called gills, bitch. That's a fish. Try again.
Ribbed for your pleasure, girl. It's like, you know, his face is perfectly sculpted to situate your ass on it. The cheekbones just keep your ass open.
Oh. Wow.
They're cheek holders. They're cheek holders, sis.
That's an image.
Imagine
I just pictured like your cheekbones growing hands and just like spreading the ass.
Yes.
Imagine like
Adonis will tell you.
Instead of asking for dick pics, you're like, show me those cheekbone photos.
Show me those cheekbones.
Show me that jawline.
What that jawline do?
What that chin do?
What them cheeks do?
Where's Jayla now?
Ducky,
I'm kidding.
Ducky Thought looked amazing. I'm standing Ducky Thought. She actually made it into the Victoria's Secret fashion show, which I was kind of disappointed in because that meant that I now actually have to watch it.
Wait, has she not been on there before?
No.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. Her and what's that girl with vitiligo who shaded her?
Who shaded her?
What's her name? Whitney Harlow.
The one from America's
Whitney
Next
Harlow
Top
shaded
Model?
her for having for her hair.
Wait, what?
Whitney Harlow shaded her for her hair, but they squashed it. I guess they squashed it. In any case, they both made it to the show. Leomi Anderson made it as well. So, you know, black girls winning. I I'm just disappointed because I really don't like the Victoria's Secret fashion show anymore. It hasn't really been good in years. And now that the Kendall Jenners and the Hadids have taken over, I mean, I'll look forward to not Gigi. What's the other one?
Bella.
Bella.
Yeah, I'll look forward to Bella because she that was a walk.
You know, all I got is if she keeps walking like that, then homegirl she could get it. But if she walk like Gigi, then it's quiet. If she walk like Kendall, then it's quiet. Kendall is like, I would be embarrassed to be Kendall. Like, I just would be so embarrassed to walk in the Victoria's Secret fashion show and do that every year and look like she does walking across that stage. Have you seen the Real Housewives of like New York or whatever? Where like that white lady is like walking down the runway, but like she's really stiff and it's like the worst thing ever. I think her name was like Ramona or something. Do you know what I'm talking about? Oh, god damn it. Someone listening to this knows. Never mind. I was going to make a joke, but no one gets it.
Okay. But for me, it's just like, I think a lot of the girls in Victoria's Secret fashion, like I think Victoria's Secret fashion show used to be really interesting like 10 years ago, but I think now it's all about like Instagram followers and likes and all that shit. So now you're just getting a lot of Instagram girls on a stage instead of like girls who know how to walk. I was watching some fashion show and it was like Naomi Campbell and like Tyra Banks and like, I don't know all the other models' names, but like it was a lot of the big models and you could see them walking. It was like interesting watching them walk across the stage because you just wanted to see like the way that they glided across the stage. Like they had attitude. They had like, there was something there. And now you just kind of watch it and it's just like these girls, they just like walking like they walk down the street. And it's just, yeah, it's not interesting anymore.
It's like you're getting paid to do this. Like
exactly. Like, girl, walk like you're getting
the
paid.
Naomi Campbell walk.
Yeah, come on, you better stand. I knew the beehive would jump out. Yes.
Also, shout out to that picture of Beyonce and LaToya.
Oh,
reunited. That was so cute.
John, are you going to the tour?
I was not aware until the other day.
Are you
Girl, you know he doesn't support black women. Why do you even ask these questions?
Stop. No, I went the last time I was with y'all and I didn't know about this one because I'm so out of the loop. I didn't know there were like when was what's happening in LA. I don't know. But I
get you a ticket, bitch.
I probably can't afford it. Last time I spent like $200. I was still in the very back. Anyway.
Never mind.
How much were our tickets, Rakeem?
I've never paid over $150 to see Beyonce, and I've been on the floor and in great seats.
What?
Yeah, that.
What? Bitch, buy my tickets.
Yeah, what?
Well, if y'all go on the Beyonce.com and sign up for them pre-sale codes, listen. Or if you aren't, here's the trick. If you aren't a member on Beyonce.com, go to Twitter the day that her pre-sale starts and then go to Beyonce pre-sale code and hit recent tweets and just refresh it. And some idiots always post their resale code, so steal theirs and then use it. That's the other thing you do.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
That's for free.
It's this weekend?
It's Saturday and Sunday. I'm going to both.
Wow. Well, okay.
Yep.
Okay, well, that was that on that. Any last... Oh, John, you wanted to talk about a thing?
Oh, a thing. Well, speaking of concerts, Dua Lipa had a concert in Shanghai, and some of her fans were waving a rainbow flag, and I don't know what the rules are. So maybe someone who's listening can educate us, but the people who were waving the rainbow flags got removed from the concert. And
what?
The security guards, they were posting videos online. It was pretty aggressive. They were like, some of the security guards were kicking them, and then Dua Lipa started crying because she didn't want them to be removed for the show. And then she finally posted this thing on her Instagram that was like, I want my concerts to be a safe space for you guys. I want, my music is for unity and blah, blah, blah. And she was visibly upset about what happened at her show. And it just made me think about
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. What?
No, go.
Oh, it just made me think about how here, it goes back to me hearing post Pride gays talk about how we don't need Pride and blah blah blah, when other countries you can't even wave a rainbow flag without even getting harassed. So I wasn't sure. I don't think it was for visibility issues either, because I don't think there was no, like, the audience seemed pretty concerned about the situation. Like, people were recording it, trying to hold the security accountable, but, you know, so I think it was 4 people that got kicked out total for waving a rainbow flag. So it was pretty upsetting. I'm surprised none of you guys saw it. It's on Billboard if you guys want to look for it. But yeah.
Yeah, that sucks. I mean it sucks too, like when the venue sucks, or like the venue's kind of like morals are not in line with your own. And like, you know, very obviously it's not something that she wanted to happen. Yeah. That sucks.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to end this on a... Hurry, something good.
There's nothing else.
Okay.
All right. I mean, there's really not. I don't have anything. Anybody
yes, we're
have
all
any
friends.
good news?
We're all here together, and we're all talking. And I'm very happy with life, and we should all be proud of each other.
There you go.
Honey roast, yay!
Yay!
Wait. Let me check Twitter. Maybe there's
Was
like
that
a
not
Twitter
good enough?
like really nice. No, that was good, but like,
I saw Sophie this weekend.
Renee, I heard that was a mess.
Is this Sophie performing in Israel?
Me and my friends started chanting "Free Palestine."
Oh my god!
And like, we did.
Wait, really?
And like a couple. What? What's that?
No, you really did that at the show?
Yeah. We really did that. Because we wanted her here, and like only a couple people joined us. But then when we stopped, like they were like looking at us and they're like, yeah, that's right. And I'm just like, well, fucking join us because we want her to hear this. But she like, but yeah, they would come by to us and they would like give us like high fives or whatever. I'm just like, okay, but nobody did anything. Like we were the only ones doing, like, it was stupid. And I danced next to Kim Petras, and she got in between me and my friends. But whatever. She seemed cool. Reina kept calling her Lady Gaga.
Oh no!
To her face, and I was like,
no, she didn't.
Like, please stop it.
Wait, my friend.
But yeah.
How did she respond to it?
She just kept looking forward, like straight to the stage and like dancing, and like I just had to like continue to like cover my friend's mouth because that was a lot.
Why is she so rude all the time? Every time you tell me the story.
But yeah. Anyways, but yeah. Fuck. I love Sophie and all this stuff, but like I feel like she's working with Lady Gaga. She's working with like all these people. She's established enough to like turn down a show like that when it's a fucked up show, especially when she's like talking about like things that are radical and like supporting those who are marginalized and uplifting those voices in interviews. So I'm
But good note. She was great, right?
She was great. Yeah, she was great.
Wait, Renee, I heard conflicting stories because I heard that she was really high and rolling on stage and making out with her girlfriend and like not.
That was the LA show.
Because
she was
people here were pissed.
That was the LA. She was. I think she was at home. She was around all her friends, and she got really fucked up. And then like there was some kind of like technical issues, but she was actually really good. In the city in San Francisco. So
yes, wow, there we go. Look, she was good.
There
you go. Good note. All right, y'all, so that's going to wrap up the minute of color, and we're going to be back with the discourse.
Excuse me.
And welcome back to the discourse. But first, you know, y'all look. A lot of y'all, if y'all know Renee, y'all probably already knew this was gonna happen anyway. I guess Homegirl saw Azalea Banks recently in concert.
Amazing.
And so, of course, she has to stand for a bit, and we didn't give her time to do that in the minutes of color. See, we wanted to end on positivity.
Yikes.
So we're going to just move this on into the discourse.
Well, all I wanted to say really is that she was throwing out Bussy Boy Pop's the Pussy Boy soap at the concert to the audience.
Did you grab any?
And I think she's like, who else is looking out for the holes of their listeners? Like when will your fave? Besides Armin Rizzo, think of your favorite musician and be like, think of your favorite musician and ask yourself if they ever think of your pussy hole. Anybody?
Do you want them to think about it?
Yes. I want them to watch out for my every need. And she's you know what? I think I'm gonna get it and I'm gonna do a review on the show. But yeah, she's been posting the holes of her listeners who have agreed to share their holes to track progress of the Pussy Boy soap. And she's encouraging bottoms to follow the footsteps of their ancestors and not douche. And
that's sabotage.
And no, she's like, just start taking Metamucil. Like, you don't need to douche. Wait, does everybody here douche? Oh, maybe that's a personal question. Never mind.
No, does anybody what? What's the question?
Douche. What's the question in color?
I don't have to. I just have a high fiber diet, and it's a natural douche.
There you go.
Wow.
There you go.
Wow.
Oh, we already know about Fleet Week. Every week is Fleet Week.
I don't know her.
Oh my god. What is happening
but anyways,
to
yeah,
the
I
show?
just wanted to say that. We can move on to the topic at hand.
Look, I'm reading her tweet. It says you can take Metamucil or just eat a plant-based diet the day of, and I just want to tell you that is sabotage.
No, you know what? I have to say, like, I'm hanging out with like some vegetarians, and they like, it feels like they never poop, and I have to poop like all the time, and it's like, anyways. Oh, sorry, that was probably TMI. But I feel like people with plant-based have.
You're
like
not doing
less...
anything for your reputation as a bottom. We're not supposed to talk about pooping, bitch. We don't poop.
Oh,
bitch.
sorry.
We teach bottoms to shit themselves.
We teach bottoms. Girl, this is supposed to be the serious portion of the show.
Sorry. Okay, let's be serious. Okay, sorry. So, what was the question of seriousness?
Of what? What was the question of seriousness? I kind of want to. I really could. I've been thinking about this actually for months, and I've been wanting to do this as a discourse for months. I've been struggling with how to give it a specific context, I guess. So I kind of just wanted to just have a conversation about it. You know, I just figured we just converse about it. I've been thinking a lot about decentering whiteness and what that means, like, and how can I apply that to my life. And I was having a conversation with a lovely friend of the show, Ian.
Hi, Ian.
Hi.
And we were talking about, well, I don't need to get into specifics about this person, but there's this black guy, and I was just talking about how, like, he's super pro-black. He talks a lot about Black history and stuff, and like he does all this stuff, like he posts, you know, in his Instagram stories, he's always posting about pro-blackness or whatever. But I notice he's in fashion, and I noticed that his ex-boyfriend was white, and his current boyfriend is white, and the majority of the friends that he has are white. And I was just like, that like gives me pause about the how genuine his interest is in this. Like, is it real, or is it like is it performative? And what Ian said to me, which I still don't know that I necessarily agree with, and maybe that's again me centering whiteness, but Ian said to me, you know, I'm putting too much importance on whiteness, and I'm centering whiteness in this conversation, and instead of asking whether he's, you know, whether what he's doing is of value, it doesn't lose its value, I should be asking what these white boys are doing to be worthy of him. Instead of centering it around, is he valid because of who he's dating? It should be that. It should be, you know, are they valid? Who are they, and what are they contributing to the world?
I think it even
And I
goes
had to
a
think-
step
I-
further than that.
How do you think? Go.
Oh,
Tell me.
sorry. Well, because I think decentering whiteness, like, I think the conversation isn't even like to me, that means they're not even in the conversation. So, like, not even like not how I react or how this reacts to me or whatever based off of like white opinions. Like, so decentering whiteness to me would be like, instead of me saying like, you know, this is how I get treated in comparison to like white people on apps per se, it would be like, you know, this is how I get treated, and I don't like the way that I'm being treated like this. I don't even know how you would talk about it without doing that, because we're just so. But do you get what I'm trying to say though? Does that make sense?
No, repeat that. I don't get it.
Okay, so what I'm trying to say is like, for me, decentering whiteness is like saying it. Sorry, how about you go first? And then this is harder than I thought.
Yeah, it is, right?
You go first.
I guess I've just been thinking about like the way that I've focused on it and the way that like it affects. Like I guess I've been thinking about it less than like oh my god, let me like stop talking about white people, and just more like how is my focus on white people and like all that shit, like how does that affect me in my day-to-day life? And I was thinking about the fact that like when I was like one thing I've noticed, and I don't think it's like that significant, but I think it's slightly significant, is one thing that I noticed is that, you know, when I was younger and I was like not necessarily as woke as I am now, I've been talking about racism since like middle school. Like I was always like that black kid in high school. Everyone was like, oh my god, here he goes, everything has to do with race. Oh my god, does everything have to do with race base? Like I was that kid. Like, so I've been talking about racism for a long time. That being said, I think I feel like over the years, I've had more focus on white people, right? And I noticed, and I don't know if this is just like me coming out into the world or what, but I noticed that I'm more attracted to white people than I was when I was younger. And I'm wondering, I don't know if that necessarily has to do with it. And it's not significant enough. Like I still am more attracted to men of color, like by far, than white people, but I noticed that there's more of an attraction than there was when I was younger. Like when I was younger, you couldn't pay me to watch white porn. Like you could not pay me to watch two white men fucking. Like it just didn't interest me at all. But now I can. Or now I'll see a white guy that like before didn't interest me, and you know, years ago if I had seen him, I wouldn't have thought anything of him. But now I'm just like, oh, he's cute. And I'm just wondering like if that's affecting me in that regard. Like I wonder if the focus is having that is causing these other things as well. I also think that I'm also part of it is I'm also tired. Like I'm tired of like feeling like everything that I do has to be a reaction to whiteness. Though it's difficult because white supremacy is everywhere, you know. So It's hard to like really like take that out of it. But at the same time, it's like, how do you live? Like, is it possible? And this is also just even a question, because maybe it's not possible in this time and day and country. But is it possible to like exist outside of that? Is it possible to try to see yourself less as not something that's not white? Because, you know, like we'll talk about ourselves, but like I feel like when there's a lot of conversations around blackness and who we are as people, whatnot, but it's always like as a response, like, well, you know, black people, we make really good food. Not like those whites that have no seasoning in their food. Like it's always like I feel like it goes back to white people a lot, and I'm just like, I guess I'm concerned that puts too much focus on white people and less focus on us just being our authentic, beautiful selves, and more focus on us being something inauthentic that's supposed to be a reaction to whiteness, I guess. I don't know if that makes sense.
It does.
You said what I was trying to say, so yes.
Oh, okay. Well, listen. There you go.
There you go.
I mean, not to self-drag, but like, isn't this kind of what like gave birth to Podcast of Color a little bit?
Yeah, honestly.
Because it's
like, I mean,
you know, decentering. It's our reaction to whiteness. Some of it.
Yeah, I don't think it's really. I mean, the name is certainly it, because I don't think anyone on any of the four of us like are, you know, not affected by it. We all do it, just in different kind of ways, you know.
Yeah, I think it's I think that would be ideal if we were to be able to like flip it on its head for sure. And I think it's good. it's probably good for our mental health as well. But it is really hard when it like is basically kind of soaking in like every aspect of like our lives, professional lives, sex lives, romantic lives, like people at school, who your teachers, who your professors are, who your bosses, like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like fucking like, let's say you don't even talk to anybody, like the people when you're walking down the street in the ads, like, it's just, I mean, I would love, that would be great if we could decenter. But I think we are living under a system that kind of doesn't let us do that, even if we wanted to. And there's also like, I feel like there's also a danger sometimes of trying to decenter whiteness, where it becomes like, okay, like, I'm not going to worry about that stuff. And like, there's a danger of kind of drifting into the other extreme of like colorblindness. Like, I'm not going to worry about like what white people think or do or whatever, or like, and ultimately like, I won't even worry about like race and stuff anymore. So like, and then that can open doors to like other shit, I feel like.
Well, that's not what I'm talking. I'm not saying like be colorblind, but I'm saying like exist outside of like trying to talk about like existing or working on existing outside of whiteness. Like, yes, it's always there, but like, I think there is also a danger in even like demonizing white people too, because I think that there's I think that the effect on you, not necessarily on white people, but like the effect that it has on us, to the point where you don't feel like you can do anything or you can accomplish anything.
Yeah,
it's like.
Yeah, that makes sense for sure. And there is definitely like, I think there's this weird thing where it's just like, so like let's say I can go out and like, if there's like, white people at whatever, like, I'm just gonna say and drag Sophie again, but like her audience was very white, and like it could have been for me to a point where if I sat there and thought about it and thought about like small microaggressions the whole night, then I would have had a really horrible time. Do you know what I'm saying? And I definitely have friends like that like cannot go out and like be around that many white people without like feeling like really shitty, and that's valid. But I feel like probably because of where I grew up, I kind of had to train myself to be like, okay, this person is probably gonna do or say some stupid shit, and and you know what, that's fine. I'm here to have a good time, and I'm not gonna let it like fuck me up, type of thing. So yeah, I think it's different for like each person. And just to clarify, I'm kind of trying to figure out what Ian meant when we were talking about like how we look at whiteness and like people that only hang out with whiteness. So was Ian saying like, okay, if somebody,
they're saying that we're making we're making that person's whiteness so important that it invalidates everything that black person is doing.
Okay. And
so instead of looking at it like,
what?
Hello. Instead of us
Sorry.
looking at it like, sorry, I thought instead of us looking at it like how, like looking at this white person and asking if they measure up, we're asking if this black person measures up because they're white. So we're allowing their whiteness to taint the black person's contributions to anti racism.
Wow. Drag me.
I think that's what they meant. They'll text me tomorrow and let me know if that wasn't it.
Well, okay, so here's the thing. I think yeah, that's a really good point. And I think that I have definitely on multiple occasions kind of like in my head like maybe dismiss somebody's opinion or dismiss like how important they were to whatever cause if they surrounded themselves by too many white folks. And yeah, I just think like
I do that too.
It's difficult because now that you bring that up, like, wow, like I've done that a lot, and I don't want to do that, and I don't want to say like, oh, this person, like, fuck this person, if like they're only, but it's hard because it's just like, if you are like, let's say you are super like for the cause, but are surrounding yourself with only white folks, then it's just kind of like, I don't know, it's because I know people like that, and I feel like it potentially could be a stage where your politics and what you really feel, and then are like on one end, but like what you're used to, or what you think, what you have kind of internalized is on another end. I mean, so I don't want to out myself right now, but I am in a current situation where I am in very close proximity with someone who is white. And I would not, like a year ago, I would not ever think that would ever be happening for me again. And yeah, I've had to like sit down and think to myself and be like, is what I'm doing kind of invalidating everything else that I stand for? And like sometimes I'm just like, yeah, it is. And that's just who I am now. And then sometimes I'm just like, I am making sure that the white folks, and I've said this on the past episodes, the white folks that are around me understand their place, stay in their lane, provide something for me where it's just like they know what they benefit from, and they know that they need to provide when possible for me in order to like continue my survival and my thriving. So yeah, it's just kind of like, that one's a difficult one, and I'm gonna keep this I'll keep this under wraps as to who said this to me, but I was with a friend recently, and like we got drunk, and they were like, Renee, I know they're dating an older and like wealthier white person, and they're like, Renee, I know that you judge me. They're like, I know, and they're like, but within a year of marrying this person, my credit score went up 100 points. And they were like, we have to do, how it is for us, and we have to do what we need to do to survive, and that's what I did. And I just had to like and I just had to sit there and be like, well, fuck, like, I'm not gonna tell you like go back to being broke or go back to struggling. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just like, yeah, I think go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I know somebody like that who lives in San Francisco. He's a muscle gay of color, and he's married to this old white man who like has him like traveling all over the world, and like his finances are ace. Right. His man is rich, and he's living his life. And I was just like, I like couldn't even hate, because I was just like, sis, like, get your money.
Right. So, but yeah, I would say it's hard. I think it's hard. I think when it's like every single person is a white person that like somebody's dating or hanging out with, like, it does get suspect. Very much so. But I think you are bringing a good point. Like, why are we letting whatever taint this person and just immediately dismiss them when at the end of the day, like, they are just doing what they have been conditioned to do their whole life, or like told to what is like a step up, or, you know, to survive, maybe even. But yeah.
I mean, I think I still struggle with that, because it's like, I see, so there's like people on like Instagram, for example, who I know for a fact like are very snow queenie, and they're very into the white world, but they learned like the jargon, right? They learn the words, and they do the, you know, they do the melanin thing. Oh girl, my melanin, our melanin. But like, you know, when it comes down to choosing their partners, melanin isn't such a plus for them. And it's really like interesting. No, I'm not even talking about you at all. But okay. I mean, if you felt dragged, then there might be a reason why. I'm actually talking about black people. I'm talking about some black gays that I know of. Some in New York, some in LA. But it's like they've learned all the words, right, for like pro-blackness. And it does feel disingenuous. But it's also like, is it right, you know what I mean, to like to say that this person their blackness is put on. Like, not necessarily that blackness, but that they're performing pro-blackness just because they have white people around them. And so I guess me and Ian were talking about this, and I was talking about like the importance of the image of like a black person, right? Because every famous black gay man that you can name is with a white man. If they're in a relationship, they're with a white man. And I was saying like the importance of that, and I was saying how like that is really like, for me, it makes it really difficult at this point for me to be like, oh, I really want to admire this person. Not that there's anything wrong with dating a white person, but it's the fact that everyone is.
Right.
Like every single famous black man is gay man is in a relationship with a white guy. Except for like, I don't know what's his name, the nigga from what's the gay guy from Empire?
Oh, Jamal.
Jussie Smollett. Jussie Smollett is like the one.
Didn't he even say
that
somebody asked him like, oh, are you into white guys? And he's like, not about it, or something like that.
I don't remember, but I know that I think I've seen him with a black guy. Like, I don't know if they were actually dating, but anyway, the point is that's neither here nor there. But we don't really have any images of famous black gay couples. That we do not have. We have plenty examples of white gay couples. We have plenty examples of white men with men of various colors.
Right.
But we don't have any monoracial gay famous couples that are not white.
Right.
And so like, I think that was my argument when we were like debating this, because I was definitely on the other side of this. Like Ian was arguing this. I was just like, no, it's like, it's not good, because like they're yet another person dating a white person, and they're and the imagery is just like, it's not good. And I was just like, I had to take a step back, because I was like, well, one, it's not that individual person's fault. You know what I mean? That this is a trend and this is an issue. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's not the individual person's relationship that's the problem. It's the overall culture of it.
That's a symptom, and it's not.
Yeah, exactly. Because if that person breaks up with their white boy and gets with a black guy, like, there's still going to be a whole culture of like black men who only want to date white men. And so it's like, and there's people who could say the same thing about me because my boyfriend's not black. You know what I mean? Like, he's not white, but they could still say the same thing because he's not black. And so I had to like really like come back from that. But I still struggle with it, because I do still feel like there's people that aren't really about it, but they claim they're about it. Right. But then it's like, who am I to say, like, who am I to gatekeep that? Right. You know what I mean? Like, who am I to say what's really about it and what's not? Yeah. And then also it's just like, and just in other aspects of my life, like we were also talking about like demonizing white people and how that negatively impacts you. Like, not necessarily the white person, but like how that negatively impacts you. Yeah. And how you turning that back out is not really like, yes, be weary of white people. Yes, like, be suspicious or whatever. But like, at the same time, like, demonizing white people is not gonna, like, it's using the white man's tools against them, which we literally talked about this with what's the nigga's name from Black Panther?
Chadwick?
No.
Oh, Killmonger.
It's using like, yeah, it's not like, the idea isn't to use white supremacy against them by being like, well, black people are superior, or Latino people are superior, or Asians are superior. It's about creating a world where we don't have to do that. But at the same time, it's complicated because we have to like pump ourselves up and be like, black people are this shit, because otherwise, like, people are going to tell us we are just shit.
It's I feel like it's hard. I think this is difficult, and I think it would be ideal. But yeah, that's because when people say like such and such minority is the shit, it's like, it's a reaction to being told you're not the shit your whole life, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or systemic the system.
But I guess
what like that you are. Go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. But what I guess what like we need to like try to, I guess, confine this isn't a conversation for white people, right? This is a conversation about people of color for people of color. So we all understand that racism exists, and we all understand that we do this because it's a reaction to whiteness. Right. But the question is like, how do we move forward in a way that isn't detrimental to us? Because in a way, demonizing white people can also be detrimental to us, because it can stop you from, it can stop your bag. You know what I mean? Like, if you hate white people so much that you can't even work with them, you have to if you want to get certain places. You know what I mean? Right. It can affect the way that you experience the world. I could be like, oh fuck, I hate being around white people. So I could never you know what I mean? Like I would just never go out in Manhattan because they're everywhere.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I could I was at a party. I was at this party and I almost my friend had to stop me because I was drunk and I was I saw there was this white gay. It was a party of color and there was this white gay walking around. He had his shirt off and I see him at these parties every time, and he's like a muscle white gay. He's always at these parties. He's always walking around with his shirt off, and I'm just like, you're taking up so much space. All of your friends that I see you with are white people.
Oh,
you may know a person of color here or there, but the majority of people I've seen you interacting with are white people. And even if it wasn't interacting with white people, it's like you're here. Like this is like a space like nobody else has their shirt off, right? Like you're taking up all this space, and you're here to get attention. And I almost went up to him to cuss him out. And my friend was like, girl, that is too much. Like, we're at this party. We're here to have a good time. Like, yes, he's doing this. And maybe somebody should tell him. But, like, you don't need to cuss him out. Like, this is not the place to do that. Like, you're at the party. You're here to have a good time. And you're, like, let him ruin that.
Damn.
And I was like, like, I'm here to have a good time. And I'm surrounded by all these people of color. Like, I'm surrounded by all these PLC.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm surrounded by all these PLC. Like, everyone's, like, vibing off of each other. Fucking Tyler, what's the nigga's name that was shot? Beyonce is, like, 10 feet away from me, hanging out with his friend. Like, there's all these others. The cast of fucking Pose is over here. Like, there's all this love.
What?
Like, all these people are just like surrounding
like a fun
each other,
party.
loving on each other. Oh, it was. I mean, yeah, it was fun. So, like, a lot of people are like, there's all this love, right? And here I am, like, focusing on this white boy.
Right. Right.
And my friend was like, sis, like, what are you doing? And I was like, you know what? You're right. Like, what the fuck am I doing? And I just decided to, like, keep going on and having fun. Now, I'm definitely gonna give him the evil eye every time I see him at these goddamn parties because bitches isn't for you. But I'm surrounding everything. Like, I have all this positivity around me and I'm focusing on one of the few white people there.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. I think in your defense, I would be upset too, but I wouldn't let it be the focus of my night, considering how. You just made it sound really cool, but like,
yeah. I mean, it wasn't the focus of my night, but I
Right.
had seen him in that moment, and in that moment, I got mad and was gonna go up to him.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Before that moment, I didn't even notice him. But, like, it's, like, one of those things where, like, I will be at these parties, and you know what? There's nothing you can do about them, because these parties, like, especially, like, Poppy Juice, like, these parties are, like, known about. Like, they're the party to go to now. So, like, of course, like, the white girls are gonna come from Manhattan. Of course, all the white Brooklyn faggots are gonna come to the party because they want to be seen here at this party that's, like, the party to go to. It's underground, it's people of color, so it's cool. Like, and these people are gonna come to these parties. It's annoying, but it's, like, I just have to you just have to deal with certain things, and, like, you can't let this whole thing, like, this one thing ruin your entire time. And I didn't, but in that moment, that could have ruined my entire night, because I could have went up to him, cussed him out, maybe he would have said something crazy to me, and y'all know how I am. Y'all know exactly how I am. So I would have cussed him out, we maybe would have fought. And then that would have ruined my whole night, you know?
yeah.
Right.
So it's just, like, it's, like, little things like that, like, not letting whiteness, like, take that, I guess, from you.
Well, also, too, I feel like we've been talking a lot about it in terms of, like, club spaces or, like, parties and, like, entertainment and that kind of thing. But also, too, like, I think decentering it also, like, what happens in, like, your workspace or what happens in, like, your living situation or, like, what happens, like, even, like, in, I don't know, like, in the entertainment industry. Like, I think that's another interesting thing, too. Like, how do you create work that's, like, well, I actually don't think that that's hard, but, like, creating, you know, work that's about pro something without being, like, you know, like, anti-white or whatever, and people are always going to, like, throw that on you, and even if you're doing something that's not necessarily, like, racial, that's something that's going to happen. Like, so sometimes, like, I feel like you can't even divorce, like, even if you divorce yourself from whiteness, like, other people will still, like, reattach it for you, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so it's hard to even do that. Like, how do you make stuff like that? So, like, let's just say, like, I do a photograph, right? And, like, I'm doing this because I'm like, oh, like, this is for being pro-black, whatever. But then someone will be like, oh, well, this is anti-white, or this is whatever, or this is that. And it's like, no, I'm just saying I'm being pro-black. Like, not everything has to be about, like, you, and that's why it's so hard, because how do you do that? And also, I don't feel like it's possible for people of color to do that. Like, I don't think it's possible for us to like dismantle. And what I mean by dismantle whiteness, like as an institution, like white people have to do it. So like until white people choose to dismantle white supremacy, like we're gonna have to deal with being compared to whiteness because that's the system we're living under, which sucks. Because like what do you do about it? Oh, that was dark. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, but like, talk about that. Like, how do you feel that there's a way? Like, I mean, I personally like, I work with a bunch of white people, as we all probably do. And I kind of just, I think in those spaces, I kind of just become a different person. Like, I'm very much like, oh, okay, ha ha ha. Like, I just like the microaggressions. I just laugh them off. All that stuff. Like, oh, they said something problematic.
Your corporate voice.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. But how, like, talk more about that.
Well, I mean, I have to do that all the time. Like, you have to know when to talk about things, when not to talk about things, what things not to talk about. It, like, who to have certain conversations with, who can't you have conversations with, who... like, if you tell this person something, will they tell this person? If I talk to this person in confidence, are they going to tell all these other people? And like, as silly as that is, like, that's what you kind of have to do sometimes, because it's like, even saying something as simple as like, I don't know, I think that people should have healthcare. Like, can be like, depending on where you are. And a lot of times when you're working in corporate spaces and white collar spaces too, that have like a lot of rich white people like that, you never fucking know. So it's like, you have to, you never know, like, who these people, that's why I'm saying, like, you can never tell by like what someone says out loud. Like, someone can be so liberal to your face and then go in that voting booth and then hit Trump because they think that, so you never really know. So you kind of have to like be on your guard about that. And even if a place is like in a black institution, like, is it being funded by black money? Like, there's just so much stuff you have to kind of like be careful of. So, I think that the answer for me is like, you can decenter it in like small ways, like small things, like unfollowing all of your, like, one thing I used to do, I did when I kind of like had this conversation with myself was any white guy that I first followed, I like unfollowed, like on Tumblr, on Instagram or Facebook or like anything. That's like a small tangible thing that I did, right? That was one thing. Another thing was not trying to look at whether or not I found artwork or creative people or projects like good based off of like white standards of what is good, right? Like, so like that's like another thing, and that's really hard. It's especially like I was listening to Still Processing, and they were doing an episode on the apeshit video and like Everything Is Love, and they were talking about how it was an interesting choice that they chose to like portray the black bodies in like the Louvre instead of like a, like or in the Louvre instead of show off like black artists and black art and that kind of thing. And like, what does that choice mean? Like, is this decentering whiteness? Is it centering whiteness on purpose? Is it saying like, we're going to infiltrate these white spaces? Like, what does that mean when you're, and when you're saying that, like, fuck the Grammys, like on one hand, yeah, fuck them. But on the other hand, like, I think you can't then say like, I can't completely divorce myself from this, because it does hurt when you're losing because you're black. Yeah. So it's like,
but then sorry.
No, well, it's also like the white institutions are the ones that are set up as like the ones that have like prestige and stuff. So it's like hard, because on one hand you want to say like, oh, I don't want, this museum or this award ceremony or this job or whatever to like be the, the threshold or like the rubric for what's good. But then when that's what it is, like, when the Oscars have been around and the Emmys are like right now, and they've been around for however many years, we care when black people win. Like I'm not going to sit there and act like I don't. I care. And I think people that say that they don't are lying. Like, but I think it's hard we need to find some kind of way to start divorcing ourselves like from that, or find some kind of way to, I don't know, fix the system, because it's, the way that it is now, we keep like, how are we going to be judged for the products that we're putting out if like the people that are making it or that are voting for it don't even understand the references of like what it is? Like,
I've seen like, and I've seen a lot of people who are like, well, that's not necessarily to what you were saying before about like going into infiltrating white spaces. And a lot of people are like, well, black people infiltrating white spaces is not like new or revolutionary. I mean, we talked about we had this conversation last time I was in LA where I was like talking about, we went to that party and it was very much a white space. And I was like talking about how great it felt for me to go into those spaces and infiltrate them. And you guys were kind of like, well, sis, you have the body that matches that. So you can do that and move that through that much more easily. And I was just like, oh, like, and you had to kind of like think about that. Like, are you still, when you're claiming to infiltrate these spaces, are you still centering those spaces? Like, you're still kind of centering that in those spaces. And I was like, oh shit, like I had to really think about that. I mean, I'm still going to infiltrate white spaces regardless, but you know, I had to think a little bit deeper about it too, you know.
I don't think either is wrong. Like, I don't think that there's a right answer. I mean, half the times I think when you're infiltrating these things, yeah, I mean, it doesn't work out. Like, but those people aren't coming from a bad place. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't think that there's a right answer yet, because if there was, someone else would have came up. I just feel like, and the other point too that I wanted to kind of piggyback off of, and I know we're going long, but like a lot of times I feel like some of this stuff becomes performative, because it's just like, who, like, at the end of the day, like, these people that are in these relationships and in these couples, and like, they're not paying my bills. So it's like, at the end of the day, it's just, I don't know. Sometimes I just feel like this kind of stuff only matters when like people are talking about, because like if you don't post about it, then like no one knows. Like there are certain, well, what I mean by this is,
I'm thinking about that RuPaul.
Well, what I'm saying, like, it only matters when the cameras are rolling.
Yeah.
No. What I meant is like, there are certain.
She won an Emmy too.
Well,
she did. Yeah.
What I meant what I meant was there are certain like writers on Twitter that I really like, because they have like, that I follow, that have these rules that I like really respect, that say I refuse to post to people that I date, and I refuse to post things that I care about on the internet, and if it's a project, I refuse to post it until it comes out, because people are going to tear that shit down. And I feel like in 2018, and I feel like this is happening now, like the moment you post anyone of like any kind of different race than you, no matter if you're dating them or hanging out with them, people are going to overanalyze that shit to like high hell. And it's like, I mean,
hell, you can't even be British.
You can't, but it's like how
and black.
But how exhausting is that to live your life for the internet though? Like I understand like having morals and like certain things, but certain stuff is like, I just feel like, who cares? Like, and it's just exhausting. I feel like it's exhausting to live your life under that. And with the whiteness thing, and when it comes to dating, I always say it doesn't matter if you date white people as long as you're not putting whiteness on a pedestal. If you are, then that means you need to reflect amongst yourself, like, and what that means. And I keep it at that. Unless you are signing my checks, it's so exhausting to like think that there are people.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So did you see that conversation? I don't know if it was like YG or whatever, but there was this black gay rapper who outed these other established rappers because he said that they signed him, but then when they discovered that his boyfriend, he had a boyfriend, he was gay, that they just kind of left him on the back burner. And he posted about this, and some guy, I know you follow him, but I can't remember his name, on Twitter said, I was going to write a whole article about this, but then I saw that his boyfriend was white. Mm-hmm. Did you see that?
I saw that.
What did you think about that?
I remember.
Just to give added context, this guy is like a culture writer, a black culture writer, and he said that he was going to write about the injustice that this young black rapper was facing in the industry, but then he saw that the black rapper's boyfriend and his Instagram is like pictures of him and this white guy all over it. He saw that and he was like, I'm just gonna mind my business.
Oh, yay.
So, I said yikes as well, but I also felt it. Like I was like both like, cause like I saw it and I was like, oh my God, that sucks. And I had to like question myself, cause like when I went on his Instagram and saw that his boyfriend was white, I was like, oh God, another one. Okay.
But
go ahead, John.
No,
go ahead.
No, I was just gonna I mean, that just brings us back to square one. Like, does that kind of like what Ian was saying? Does that, negate everything because of this white person?
No,
definitely. So like I was like, I mean, no, definitely not. That's what it is. Sorry. And so that's why I was like, okay.
I mean,
like
it kind of did for some
back.
though. If he's not going to continue with it, then it did for that person,
Yeah, and a lot of people
I think
agree with
there's
it,
also like this thing, and this is speaking about like people of color in general that date white folks, because I mean, so the thing is like really, so something like you being really invested in the politics and like the success of your own folks, and trying to break out of being in the system that is like fucking us over, and being educated as far as like all the issues. I mean, I think, I don't think that it negates or that it like kind of invalidates them actually wanting the best for their own folks. I don't think that negates that at all. But I do think, and I'm speaking from experience, is like I remember being there and being like, yes, I want better for myself and I want better for my people, and like learning about all this shit. But it's like you do not know. I don't think you know, and you're aware of how much it can affect who you are attracted to until you are like coming out of it. Like so like let's say like that person that we've been talking about who knows all the words, is educated, etc., like knows like seems to be for the cause, but still surrounding themselves only with white folks and dating only white folks. Is like they're trying to get from point A to point B, even if they don't know that, or not completely aware that like a lot of them subconsciously is still at point A. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, for me, and like when I see people like that now, it's like, for me it feels like, okay, you're at that stage, you're still there, and like I've been there, so I'm just like, I can't even say anything. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's like, yeah, I think, and like, I mean, fucking to this day, like there are things that are so deeply ingrained in us, and like also things that we feel ashamed of, that we can't really sit down and even look at it ourselves. Like it has to very slowly but surely kind of like drain out of you. So yeah, I don't think that because this person is dating only white folks, that that their like passion for the cause is invalid. But I do think that, shaking yourself completely out of it, to go to point B is really hard, and it's not something that you are aware that you're doing or not doing, when you're in there, when you're stuck there. You only really become aware of it once you start really detaching. So.
Yeah, but I think the way that people detach is different, though. But that's like a whole other different conversation, honestly. Because I
guess we need to have a part 2.
Yeah, I mean, because it looks different for a lot of people. Like I don't think detaching looks one way. You know what I mean? Like it's like what, like if you wake up one day, you're gonna be like, and these are your group of friends. Are you gonna be like, I have to just drop all my friends immediately? Like that? Like you have to then cultivate like how then do I fix the issue too? Like, you know what I mean?
I will speak for myself, but like, oh, go ahead.
I just also feel like I think that I have like a different, I guess, I have a different view when I like see that a person has like, okay, their partner is white, right? Versus their whole friend group is white.
Oh, right. Yeah, true.
Because I also think that like says a lot, especially if you live in a major city.
Yeah.
Like in a major city with people of color in it. Like if you live in New York, if you live in LA, if you live even in certain parts of the Bay Area, like, and you're like none of your friends are non-white.
Right.
None of your other friends are black. You're black, and none of your other friends are black. I think that says a lot, and I don't know that necessarily like invalidates like any activism you may do.
Right.
But I definitely like don't trust it.
Right.
You know what, Baze? That was so interesting that you said. I fully agree. Like if I feel one way about someone dating white people, but a completely different way about people having all white friends, like completely different. But that's a whole other conversation too.
Yeah, that is.
That's what I was thinking about while y'all were talking. Like, I think, decentering as far as romantic relationships, and then there's like friendship circles is a whole nother. Because I was thinking, like, I had brunch with one of my friends, some of my friends a few weekends ago, and they were asking like, well, John, like your ex-boyfriend is white, and they're like, are you going to date a white person again? and I was pausing and thinking, like, I was gonna say no right away, but then I thought, like, you know, what are the reasons? Like, because right now, when it comes to dating, like, I'm a very, I think, a complex person. Like, I'm still figuring out my gender. I'm still figuring out, like, balancing work and, like, all these things. And, like, if someone who's willing to take on all that stuff and, like, they happen to be white, am I going to say no to that person? And, like, it made me think about, like, Laverne Cox.
Of course not.
Like, you know, people got on Laverne Cox for dating this white guy. And it's like, who are we to judge when this person is given the opportunity of love and, like, a happy relationship because they're white?
Right.
You know? And so, I don't know. It's tough. But then, yeah, if also, in addition to that, if everyone else, like, all the friends that you're with are also white, like, it's a different conversation, I think.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, John, I've actually done that before where there was someone that I really liked and we got along and I, like, just stopped dating them because they were white. And then I looked back and I was like, that was so fucking dumb because I did it because I thought that. And I did that because I thought that people would be upset with me. And then I was like, why am I dating for other people? Like, and that was just like, and I look back and I actually told that person that and they were like, yeah, no, I'm good. And I was like, well, I deserve that. Because it's just like that was, you know, so sometimes, so I don't know. A lot of this is super nuanced and it's all, honestly, a lot of this is on a case by case basis. Because Renee, I absolutely get what you're talking about too. Because there are some people where I'm just like, ugh, like I don't trust shit that comes from them. Even though they are saying the correct things, you just know. Yeah. It's a feeling. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not.
I mean, I think, and there's also the other side that, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go.
There's the other side of that of people who date white people specific because of how other people respond to it too. There's people who like feel like they have to have that, so they will withstand anything to be with that person,
right?
Not because they actually care about the person, but because of how they look together,
right?
Oh, T.
So there's the other side of that. Just saying. Okay,
all right.
Go ahead, Renee.
I forgot what we were gonna say,
and then that'll be the last word.
Huh?
I said you could go and then that'll be the last word.
Oh, I was gonna say, no, I wasn't trying to say like this person is. What I was trying to say was like whoever is dating, like, let's say just white folks, that their politics are not completely invalid for me, like, automatically. Do you know what I'm saying? And yeah, it is.
I'm sorry. Yes, sorry.
That's not what I was. I was
sorry. I actually said the exact opposite of what you were saying. Okay. Sorry, but I get what you're saying. Yes.
Yeah. So I just wanted to clarify that because, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's the tea?
You're saying
the girls are fighting.
Okay.
Wait. So wait, real quick. Where are we on time? What does Bert said the whole thing is right now?
I'm looking at it right now. We have. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, go for it.
Well, we have one section that's 49 minutes, one section that's 18:52, and this one's 48:44.
It's long.
It's long.
We gotta.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess that's gonna be.
I'm sorry, we're not gonna be able to
read any emails today. Yeah, we need to have a part 2. So, Rakim, do you want to do our outro?
Yeah, well, first I just wanted to say that...
thank somebody, yes.
Well, not thank, I want to announce.
Okay.
Well, today, this will be Tuesday when you're listening to this, so that will be Tuesday the 18th, which means that the show that Ramon and I are doing, it will be up, and you can actually go see it if you are in LA, and if you're not in LA, I will put it on my Instagram and everywhere, so you'll be seeing it. And the show will be up for 2 weeks. It will be up from the 18th through the 30th. Again, it is called Whoo Child the Ghetto. And the reception will be on this Thursday from 7 to 10. It is BYOB. So bring your own enhancements. And yeah, I'll put the address of where it will be in the description. And this is my kind of like first like showing in LA, I guess, like in a show that like was partially my conception. So I'm very, very, very excited and nervous about it. And like, we're really excited. I've been sleeping at the gallery for 3 days, like, and I'm ready to go home. So, yes. Do you guys have any announcements or thank yous or anything like that?
Thank you to God for waking me up this morning.
I want to thank Azealia Banks for the Bussy Boy bar that I will be receiving soon in the mail, and I will update y'all on how my bussy is.
I would also great. That is amazing. Thank you for sharing that. I would also like to just really quickly for Tyler Perry, I'd like to fire the whole writing staff of the have and have nots. Yes, absolute garbage. Thank you.
Wow.
And before the outro, I just want to thank all our listeners for staying with us. We are in the 70s. Yay. And to continue to write us in, even though we're not doing a letter today, write us in, give us a question of color, give us something to discourse about. We want to be more interactive.
Yeah, and I want to shout out the people at the Azealia Banks concert that said hi, that recognized me from the podcast, and also the people at Oakland Pride.
Someone went up to you at an Azealia. If that's not the most Renee thing I have ever heard in my life.
Dude,
wow.
I was so embarrassed. Somebody was waiting outside of the bathroom while I was taking like a 10-minute poop. And they were like, they were like, I saw you go in there. I recognize, I just want to say hi. I was like, oh my God, please. I was really hoping none of the poop air would follow me out. And while she was like trying to like hug me and stuff. But yeah.
More fiber, Metamucil.
All right, so with that,
yes, right,
right. You can follow us on Twitter at Trash or Color. You can follow us everywhere else at Podcast of Color. Send in your questions and emails and honey roast and all that good stuff to podcastofcolor@gmail.com. And hopefully, I will see y'all on Thursday if you're in LA. And with that, we will see y'all next week.
All
right.
This podcast is executively produced by Aaliyah J. Daniels, LaShawn McGee, Damian Pelliccioni, Christopher Rodriguez, John Kagandahan, Keem Cunningham, Baze White, and Renee Hernandez.